Hello my friends and welcome to Book-O-Ween Day 4. Can you believe it's Day 4 already? Oh my goodness, I feel like we just started. To be fair, I have been reading these books ahead of time, so it kind of feels like a short amount of time, but it also feels like a longer amount of time. Anyways, today is Day 4 and today we are talking about The House on Moon Creek Avenue by E. Reyes. And I have been eyeing this book for so long, so long, and I never bought it because I was like, wait, I'm gonna have it for Book-O-Ween. I knew a while ago that I was going to have this on Book-O-Ween. I just knew that it was going to be a Book-O-Ween book, so I ended up not reading it forever because I had to wait for Book-O-Ween. But I'm so excited to now be able to talk about it and to have read it now. So let's talk about the cover. I think this cover is beautiful. It reminds me of Halloween a lot. I don't know why, but when I look at it, like Halloween the movie with Michael Myers, it reminds me of Halloween so deeply. I don't know. It just looks like a house that he would go into or something like that. I don't know. It just reminds me of Halloween for some reason. It just screams it to me. But I really like the cover, really like the colors. I think it's very dark and grungy and grimy, and I kind of really like that, but you got the pop of orange, which I think is really nice. I don't know, it's just a really cool cover and I really like it. So let's get into my plot synopsis and then I will tell you guys my overall thoughts and opinions. 21-year-old Cindy Flores is a single mother who inherited her recently deceased grandmother's house. This is a stroke of good luck for Cindy and her daughter Mallory. Cindy is a college student who has been living with her dad and his girlfriend, so this house is a saving grace for them. Since Cindy is a student and a cashier at a grocery store, her dad is generously helping her pay her bills as to help get her on her feet. Everyone is just really glad to see Cindy get away from her ex, who is also Mallory's dad. He's not a great guy and he did not treat Cindy very well. The house is located in the rougher part of town, so it's not in the best neighborhood, but it is a house and it's hers. All in all, it seems like things are starting to look up for this mother-daughter duo, until suddenly things aren't anymore. The house is perfect and cozy, reminding Cindy of her childhood. Well, at first. Then Cindy starts hearing and seeing things. Things that suggest they are not coming from a living person. When the paranormal activity gets so bad and starts affecting Cindy and Mallory both very negatively, Cindy ends up catching the activity on camera. The video ends up going viral and catches the attention of a very well-known paranormal investigation team that offer to come and look at the place for Cindy. The road to discovering why this is all happening is not easy, nor is it harmless. That's going to do it for the synopsis, so let's go into my thoughts and overall opinions on the book. Like I said, I have been eyeing this book for some time. The cover caught my attention incredibly fast. I just looked at it and went, yes, I need to read that. It looks so good, it looks intriguing, it looks right up my alley, and I just knew that I was going to have to pick it up. But like I said, I did put it off because I was planning Book-O-Ween at this point. I just thought Book-O-Ween was the perfect opportunity to have a fun little haunted house paranormal activity story to tell you guys about. Ironically enough, I have a few of those kinds of books. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to have different stories, but there are a few more dealing with paranormal activity, and I'm sure you've seen some previously. But yeah, I just really like haunted houses and that kind of story. I don't know, and especially during Halloween, it just feels really right. It just feels like you should be reading something like that during Halloween. So I was very excited to include this book during Book-O-Ween. Like I said, I love ghost stories. I love haunted houses. It's actually one of my biggest fears to live in a haunted house. I'm fascinated with haunted houses and I would like to visit them and explore a haunted house, but to actually live in one is probably one of my greatest fears. I'm terrified of being haunted or having paranormal activity happen to me. I have had certain experiences, if you will. I've talked about them in different videos, but nothing like too crazy. But so I think it just kind of freaks me out to think about having activity constantly and not being able to escape it, like Cindy and her daughter in this book. The descriptions of the paranormal entities in this book are so descriptive that it's very creepy and spine-tingling and off-putting, I guess, but not in a bad way. It's just kind of very creepy and I don't know, it just like chills your spine when you read them. They just kind of freak you out because they're very detailed. A lot of the time in ghost stories and stuff like this, haunted houses, they kind of describe like shadowy figures and I don't know, just like dark movement. You don't ever really see like detailed people, you know what I mean? You don't really get detailed descriptions half the time, but this was like really detailed, and I'm probably not going to forget about the entities because they were pretty freaky. I really enjoyed the main character, Cindy. I felt like it was very easy to read from her perspective. It didn't take me long to get accustomed to her, you know, dialogue or anything like that. Sometimes I feel like characters can be hit or miss and the main character can not be easy to connect with, but I felt like Cindy was very easy to connect with. It just kind of flowed and it was nice to just kind of dive right in. I also really liked that she didn't take too long to realize that the house was haunted. Sometimes characters, it just takes them too long to realize that this is paranormal. They try to second guess everything and to question everything and to come up with logical explanations, which I get. Sure, that's fine. Try to logically explain things for the first like few times, but don't sit there for half the book and just say, no, it can't be this, it can't be that. And I get that there are people that are skeptics, but it's so frustrating as me reading the book to read them being like that, because I just want them to be like, oh, it's haunted, but they don't. They take forever, or people just don't believe. And it's like, just realize that it's paranormal, please. Like, can we just get to it so we can like speed these things up? Because sometimes it just really frustrates me and pulls me out of the story if characters take way too long to realize that it's paranormal activity. It just drives me insane. It's so irritating. I'm sure other people don't feel that way, and I'm sure people who are skeptics probably like that because it's relatable to them. But as someone who's not really a skeptic, it's frustrating because I just want to like shake them and be like, it's paranormal. Do you get it now? Like, that's how I feel. That's pretty aggressive, sorry. I also enjoyed that there was a bit of romance in there. I love a good horror story with romance. I'm a sucker for romance, and in horror, I just think it adds. It's a little good addition. And this wasn't a lot. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't excessive, like for people who don't really like romance. It wasn't anything like that, but it was a good little side part, and I really enjoyed that as someone who does like romance inside their stories. I liked the addition. Ben, who is the romantic interest in this story, is such a good character. I love him so much. I was so happy that it didn't take him 5 million years to believe Cindy. When she tells him, he's just like, okay, great. I don't think you're crazy. I don't think you're imagining things. I'm here for you. I believe you, and I will help you. Why can't that always happen? It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating when characters have significant others that just kind of belittle them in stories and call them crazy and say, oh, stress is getting to you. Oh, you're imagining things. That drives me insane. If my boyfriend told me that and said that I was being crazy about something like that, I would be livid. I'd be like, how dare you? You know me. Why would I make things up like that? So I hate when characters have their significant other or parents or whatever, and they're just like, you're being crazy, you're being like this. Like, why? That irritates me. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in horror, especially paranormal books, when the person isn't believed. And I know that sometimes it's not a paranormal thing, it's a, you know, mental health thing that they're talking about, and that they are seeing things that aren't really there, but not all the time. So why can't you believe them and just try to like see it from their point of view? I don't know why that's so hard. It's so frustrating to me in paranormal books. It's just frustrating. I don't know why the main character is always belittled for seeing things. It drives me insane. But like I was saying, Ben was quick to believe her, and I really appreciated that. He was a nice, genuinely nice guy. I really enjoyed the addition of the paranormal investigation team, especially how this team was done. They were actually like the real deal. They believed Cindy. They weren't trying to fake things. They weren't, I don't know, they were there to really capture whatever was going on, and they didn't seem like they wanted to exaggerate or anything. They just wanted to capture what was happening as it was happening. And I love that, because I think paranormal investigation teams get bad reps because there are so many that are faking things and doing it for money and views and stuff like that. But then there are some who genuinely want to help people and genuinely want to figure out if someone's being haunted or some place is haunted or whatever. And so I really liked that this paranormal investigation team was legit. They really were doing what a paranormal team is supposed to do. So I really liked that, and that they weren't like jerks or rude or condescending or anything like that. I really liked that they were just there to help. I really liked the style of the book. It felt very nostalgic, and I think this is going to be hard to explain. I'm not really sure how to explain it, because it's more of a feeling than something that I can describe, but it felt very familiar. It felt like I had read this writing before, even though I have never read anything by Reyes before, but it felt familiar, and I kind of think it reminds me of Goosebumps or something by R.L. Stine. Not the plot, but just like the feeling. I don't know, it just felt familiar, and I'm not sure how to explain it. I liked it. It was good. I'm glad that it felt familiar and I felt, you know, positively towards it. It was just strange because I feel like I should know it, but like I don't. I don't know how else to explain it. I feel like it's a very weird thing to try to explain, but that's the best I can do. I hope someone understands, but it just felt nostalgic, I guess. The ending was awesome. The plot twist was great. I kinda sorta saw it coming, but only like half of the plot twist, I guess. I saw like a fragment in my head at one point, but to be fair, I did not really see the entire ending, but it was really satisfying and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great ending for the book. I'd say my only critique is that the writing style felt a little clunky at times. It wasn't bad or hard to read or made the book unreadable or anything like that. It just felt a little unsure. Maybe like the author didn't quite know what they wanted to say. I mean, that could just be me thinking that. I'm not quite sure, but it did feel a little clunky at times. Not throughout the entire thing or anything like that. It wasn't a lot, it just was at some points. I think this was the author's first novel, so that could just be them getting into writing and kind of just finding their voice and their style a little bit more. So I'm not like holding it against them or anything like that. I'm sure it's super hard to write your first book, so I don't take that into too much consideration. It's just a little point that I thought I would throw in there since I am giving my full and honest thoughts. But overall, I really, really enjoyed this book. It was a really fun read, perfect for Halloween. It got me into the spirit. It was perfect. So I'm going to give this 4.5 ghosts out of 5. And yeah, I'm very happy with the book. I really liked it. It was enjoyable. It was fun. It was entertaining. It held my attention. Overall, really enjoyed the book, and I look forward to reading more by the author. I really liked this book, and I would love to check out more of their stuff. So let me know if you have read The House on Moon Creek Avenue. Let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. How are you liking Book-O-Ween so far? We're pretty much halfway through now. We're almost done. We have, what, 3 books left, which is super sad, but also going very fast. So I hope you guys are enjoying Book-O-Ween. If you are, please give me a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of content you enjoy from me. That way I can keep providing you with that kind of content. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It'll keep you updated with Book-O-Ween since we have 3 days left. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow for Book-O-Ween Day 5. Bye!